Hi fellow artists, my name is Lauren. I am the artist behind Potato Art Studios, and in this video I thought I'd take you through how I organize my bullet journal. So if you're interested in seeing how I set up my bullet journal for artists, just keep watching. So I have a rodeo dot journal, and I'll have a link to it down below, but it does come in a variety of different colors. And I received this as a Christmas present this past year, so I've been using this journal for the past 6 months, but I have been bullet journaling for a little over a year. So I'll show you how I set up my bullet journal and what I found works for me. So this journal is a hardcover, and it has this convenient elastic around it. I like the pages because the dots are quite light, so it's not too distracting, unlike some other journals. And this is my monthly spread. You can see that I just have a simple 2-page month spread, and I'll write any important deadlines on there, and also on my weekly pages that I'll show you in a little bit. And I also have space on the right hand side for any notes that I need to make sure I jot down for that month. So my monthly spread will have any major deadlines for commissions, but also it can be other things too, like if I have a doctor appointment or if I have any YouTube videos that I'm planning on posting, I'll have those also written down on this spread. And on the next page is my habit tracker. And so on this page, I'll basically write down anything that I do more than a couple times a week. So for example, taking my vitamins in the morning, instead of writing every day, take vitamins, I can just write it, take vitamins on the left-hand side, and then just simply write a check when I do it for that day to the right of it. And so it's a very efficient way to keep track of things that you know that you'll do more than once a week. So I'll also have something like just go exercise, go to the gym. It'll help me keep track of how often I go to the gym, and also make sure I'm motivated, because if I didn't go to the gym this week, I know I definitely have to go at least once before the end of the week. And I also have the weeks outlined by the slightly darker line between the days, just to let me know when the week is coming up. And I also have a convenient space on the bottom of the habit tracker for any notes for any of the habits that I have. If something peculiar happened or if I missed something, I can write it down in that box. And my next page is an hourly tracker, and I know most people don't do this, but it helps me keep myself accountable when I track how I spend each hour of the day. So for weekends, obviously I don't need to do it as often, but for the weekdays where I want to make sure that I need to get stuff done, I'm going to track how I spend each hour. So on the right hand side of my hourly tracker, I'll have a key, which I haven't set up yet. But for example, if I'm drawing or making art, typically the color I use is blue. So if I spend 1 hour making art in the morning on that day, I will color in one box blue, and that'll let me know that I spent 1 hour making art. And then I have a vertical line at the 4-hour mark and the 8-hour mark, just to let me know, okay, you're halfway done through the day, you can go eat lunch. And towards the end of the day, it's like, all right, we can wrap it up. If I do any more work, it's just a bonus productivity for that day. So the hourly tracker is mainly to see how much time I spend on art, but it can also track other things like how much time I spend on social media. A new thing has been how much time I spend making videos, which has been taking up a lot of time. So for example, on Friday, if I spent 2 hours filming and 4 hours editing. That's nearly the whole day spent purely on making YouTube videos. So I will make sure that the following week on Monday, I'm going to concentrate more on art because I lost a lot of time the previous week on video editing. So it helps me balance out my day-to-day work. That's not to say that, it can change. Some things happen that's, if you're really in the art groove, I might spend 10 hours straight making art. So the following day I can relax a bit more and do some other maybe housework. But it does help me see how I do every day, and just to make sure that I'm kind of balanced, that I'm not spending too much time in one area versus another. On the next page is my commissions list. So in this area, I'm going to note any important information about the commissions I'm working on for the month. So for example, if I am working for a client to draw a dog portrait, I'll write down my client's name, my client's pet's name, a short description about the pet. So if it's a German Shepherd, I'll write, for example, Joe, his dog's name is Fred, and he's a German Shepherd. I'll also write down the drawing size that commission is for, and most importantly, the deadline. So I'll make sure that I have that information clearly written out, and I'll also keep track of how much time I'm spending. So I'll write the start date of when I start the drawing, when I finish the drawing, and also if I need to make any revisions to the drawing, I'll also have those noted down on that page as well. So it just helps me keep track of all of the information for my commission in one place that's easy to find. Previously, I was doing it on Post-it notes, which is a very, very bad idea. I would not advise writing important commission information on Post-it notes. It's very easy to lose something, and then you have to dig through your old emails to figure out, was the drawing due tomorrow or was it due next week? This just helps me keep all the information that I need in one place. The next spread is just the projects that I do for fun. So I think it's really important to do art projects with the goal of maybe to relax, or also what I try to do is to also make it a project that I'm working on an area I know I'm weak in. So for example, if I feel that I'm weak in drawing feathers on birds, maybe I'll draw a lovebird 1 week. And so it'll help me build up my portfolio, but also build up confidence and skills that I know that I need to brush up on. This 2-page spread is just for projects that are just for me. And the following pages are for my weeklies. So this is more like a typical journal where I write my tasks that I want to do for that day, listed out here. And obviously for weekends, I have less things to do, so the amount of space for Sundays and Saturdays is a little bit smaller. For weeklies, my tasks don't have to strictly be art. They, of course, will include any deadlines that I have coming up or any milestones I know I want to finish by a certain time. I'll make sure that I have them written down on the appropriate day. But it can also be other tasks like do laundry on Tuesday or go grocery shopping on Thursday. It can also be other tasks as well that, need to get done, but they can coexist with my art deadlines as well on this page. So my next page is for Instagram, and Instagram is my social media of choice. It's the platform I am by far most active on. So on this page, I'll try and plan out my posts for at least a couple days in advance. So I'll have a short description of the posts that I'd like to make. Make sure that I have my description typed up, my photos edited, or definitely have a plan of what I need to finish by a certain date so that I can make sure that I'm consistently uploading. And that is it for my bullet journal for the month. So next we'll get into the pens and art supplies that I use for my bullet journal. Most of you are familiar with the Sakura micron pens, so I use a couple different sizes. And I also use the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens, and it's very similar to the micron pens, but I find that they last actually a little bit longer. And for writing my notes, I use the G2 pen with the 0.38 nib refill. So I found that the 0.38 refill is a little bit hard to find, or at least I can't find it at any of my nearby office supply stores. So what I do is just buy the regular 0.5 G2 pen, and then I will buy the 0.38 refills off of Amazon. And I really like how fine the 0.38 pen is. So I definitely recommend getting that if you're interested in having a very fine tip. I find that the microns and the Faber-Castell pens, they make a really nice, dark, consistent, smooth line, but for writing, I tend to skip a little bit, so I tend to use my G2 gel pen for that, and then I'll draw my grids, which require different levels of thicknesses with my micron and Pitt pen. Next up is also very, very important. It is a stainless steel ruler. So the important thing about this ruler is that it has a non-skid backing, and it's basically just a very thin strip of cork glued to the backside, and this helps your ruler stay in place while you're making your lines, but also it offsets the stainless steel part of the ruler so that you don't have smearing when you're drawing your lines. So I highly recommend getting this ruler or a ruler similar to it. It definitely helps make drawing grids a lot easier. And I think that wraps it up for this video. So if you found it helpful and you want to give bullet journaling a try, definitely do. I think it's helped me stay more organized and also keep all of my information in one place, which is most important. So if you'd like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you'd like. I love hearing your comments. If you are currently bullet journaling, let me know what pages that you've created that you found useful. My bullet journaling style has changed a lot in the first few months, but over the past 6 months it's been fairly consistent. So this is the layout and number of pages that I use every month. I will go back to posting regular time lapses starting next week Tuesday. This week has been a little bit hectic, switching apartments, so I just have this short video up for you all. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.